One truck spinning and crashing. Spinning everywhere.
Makes a big sound. Boom, boom.
Side by side, door to door.
Right into the wall.
Now trucks crashing along the outside wall.
I win!
Brendan gone. First time, Jason Leffler.
What's his name? A blender. Blend them up.
Contact.
He pulls up now.
He's going for the lead.
Who's going to win it?
Flames shooting from the machine.
Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series pre-race show is presented by Craftsman. As we take a look at the Ford top 10 point standings, Brendan Gaughan back atop the point standings. That's his third time this year. He moves Travis Kvapil down a spot into second. But look who's below him. Ted Musgrave and Dennis Setzer, two short track aces that are looking to move up in the points here at this short track of Bristol. But first, let's go down to Ray Dunlap in the pits.
Well, thanks, Rick. How cool is it to be back at Bristol and to be riding around in one of the pickups as we get ready for driver intros? You know, there's just 3 teams that have competed in all 6 races here at Bristol. That includes Spears, Manufacturing, K Automotive, and Ultra Motorsports. Now, I would have thought Ultra would have a great record here at Bristol, wouldn't you? Well, guess what? Their record's not that good. The very best finish so far for this team here, a 14th. But I think that could change tonight because this guy right here is on the pole. Ted Musgrave, a great truck at a track you got a lot of Winston Cup experience at. How much will that pay an advantage for you tonight?
Well, it's got to be an advantage, and yeah, hopefully that 14th is no good. I don't want to be that far back. Points are really critical right here for the Mopar team. But yeah, being a Winston Cup driver and having like 18, 19 Winston Cup starts, it tells you patience. Patience is the biggest thing that's going to make you break you here tonight.
There's 25 races in the season, but tonight certainly seemed like a big one for points.
It does. It's the same amount of points as you get at Daytona, but then again, like I say, this is a pivotal point right here at Bristol Motor Speedway. That even in Winston Cup, Busch Grand National and Truck, anything can happen here.
Okay, that's Ted Musgrave. Now let's check in with my broadcast partner, Phil Parsons.
Well, thank you, Ray. Let me tell you about a guy that is good here. Kevin Harvick's got 3 Busch wins, a good runner-up finish in the Winston Cup here a couple years ago, and you've got a great truck here tonight. Tell us about it.
Yeah, the Victory Junction Gang truck is pretty awesome. Hopefully it's the same way now that the suns went down. I mean, it was really hot today, so we'll just hope that the Chevrolet is really good. We got to beat that guy, so it's going to be a lot of fun. I enjoy racing in a truck series, and just to come back here to Bristol, a place that we've had so much success. And really tonight we're racing for a trophy. We're racing for Kyle and Patty, Patty's Victory Junction Camp, and everything we win tonight, no matter whatever it says in the newspaper, that's what's going to them. And we got a bunch of great fans on kevinharvick.com that have donated $4,000 or $5,000. So it's going to be a lot of fun for me and a good night for charity.
Kevin Harvick will roll off 10th tonight and look for him to move his way to the front. Let's go back upstairs.
Thank you, Phil. Well, welcome again, ladies and gentlemen, to Bristol Motor Speedway. I'm Rick Allen. Joining me to call all the action is Dorsey Schrader and Barry Dotson. And Dorsey, we just saw 2 guys who are veterans at this track. How much is that going to help them out tonight in this race?
Well, just like Ted said, a lot. Boy, if you've never been here before, and a lot of our guys in the Craftsman Truck Series never have been here before, they think it's really great until the race starts. Then the bumping and the banging starts. The sliding around is like a big blender, just like you saw. Mix them up, blend them up. And guys are going to be, at the end of this race, tempers are going to be flaring. It's a tough racetrack.
Oh, it's very tough. It's been here for years. There's a lot of tradition back to the early 60s. It used to be asphalt. Now it's concrete. They say concrete's consistent. This is one of 3 concrete tracks that we race on. It is consistent. It's consistently slick. But all the great drivers have won at Bristol. It's not winning the Masters, but winning at Bristol is certainly winning a major.
Well, and who will win the major tonight here at Bristol Motor Speedway? We'll find out when we come back with pre-race activities as they continue from right here in Bristol. Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series pre-race show is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and the NHRA. And welcome back to Thunder Valley, Bristol Motor Speedway. You know, two teams that have separated themselves from the pack are Ultra Motorsports and Roush Racing. Ultra actually tied Roush earlier this year at 28 wins, but the boys from Roush have come together as of late and grown into a very unique duo. And Carl Edwards will win the Power Stroke Diesel 200. He sees the checkered flag and wins. The number 99 of Carl Edwards dominates.
Man, if I won a go-kart race one time and I did that, so that's just something I've always done. I think Tyler Walker was the first race car driver I ever saw do that, and I thought, man, that was cool. So I started doing that back in the dirt racing days.
In a way, I would compare our relationship to a brotherly relationship that you would have in a household.
Oh, I'll tell you, we're a lot different in a lot of ways.
He likes to say that.
I mean, we're obviously from different backgrounds.
We do everything together. We're in the shop together. We're flying remote control airplanes together.
I mean, I'm at the shop early in the mornings, working out, you know, and John comes in later, stays up later.
It's kind of the same, but on a different scale.
Pretty much live two different lifestyles.
We put in the same number of hours, just a little different. You know, I'm awake when the sun comes up, and so is he, only I'm going to bed.
The Built Ford Top 225 has been claimed by Carl Edwards. John Wood will see the checkered flags and win his first ever NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series race.
That's what all those nights working on my dirt car, all those races that I drove to, all that help from all my friends. I mean, that's what it's for. That's the high. So now I know what it feels like, and if we can keep repeating that, we'll be all right.
I'll tell you what, folks, if this race was at 1 o'clock in the afternoon, I might give the advantage to Carl Edwards, but it's night racing, and John Wood's just coming alive, man. You're like the night owl. You got to be ready to go now here at Bristol.
Yeah, nighttime's my specialty. You know, I sleep during the day like a vampire. Awake all night, ready to go. But, you know, I think we've got a great truck for today. This was my first time here, so it's been a learning experience. I'm sure it's going to be in the race as well, but if I can just manage to stay out of trouble somehow, some way, I think we should be okay.
I know physically you're only about 70% tonight, and this is a very demanding race. It's pretty humid here. Have you worried about that at all?
Yeah, I'm not really feeling too good, but I think we should be okay. You know, it is nighttime, and it's cooled off a lot since today. And there again, it's not really going to be how you feel, how you do there, so that's just going to be not wrecking.
Yeah, that's pretty much the point. Now let's check in with his teammate. I think he's standing by with Phil.
He sure is, right, Carl. You've won 3 out of the last 5 races, but you've never seen this racetrack before. Tell us about Bristol.
Man, I don't even know where to start. I mean, my heart's just racing. Sitting here thinking about getting in the truck. So, just really proud to be here. Proud to be part of Roush Racing with Ford, and we've got our new big sponsor, Super Chips. It's also new to me, and it's just amazing. And I can't tell you. I mean, you know, this track is unbelievable. I mean, just your arms are tired after 10 laps of practice, and your brain's tired. You can't see around the corner. It's going to be a heck of a race. I'm so excited to be here.
We're used to seeing this truck with nothing on it, but as you just mentioned, we've got a new sponsor here. Good for the rest of the year?
Oh, yeah. It's good for the rest of the year. They're going to be on for 2 more years after this in some capacity. So we're proud to have them on board, and they're even going to give me something to stick in my street car to make it go a little faster. So I'm excited.
All right, Carl Edwards is going to try to do something tonight that only 3 drivers have done before in the history of the series, and that's win 3 races in a row. Let's go back upstairs.
And when he says 3 races in a row, Carl Edwards already has 3 wins on the season through 15 races, and we like to compare him to a rookie that did, pretty good back in 2000. Finished 2nd in the point standings, won 4 races. But as you compare him through 15 races, Carl Edwards is actually out in front of Kurt Busch.
Well, that's after only 15 races, too. This year's not over, and this man right here is not done.
We'll be back with more pre-race activities right after this. Welcome to the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series O'Reilly 200 on Speed Channel, presented by Valvoline Max Life. A beautiful evening here in Tennessee. Currently 80 degrees. It was hot today earlier. 70% humidity, but on a concrete track, it's not going to make much of a difference. Let's get this race underway, and for that we go down trackside to our pre-race activities.
Please rise for tonight's invocation from Reverend Tom Elam of Raceway Ministries and our national anthem to be sung this evening by Law and Grace of the Sullivan County Sheriff's Office.
Our loving Heavenly Father, we come this evening and give special thanks to you for the beautiful weather that you've given for this race, for the joy of your presence in our lives. Dear Heavenly Father, I pray for peace. I pray for safety for the drivers. I pray that you would be with the fans, that this would be one of the most exciting races they have ever experienced. Dear Heavenly Father, may your precious love rest upon all of us. May safety abound, and we will give you thanksgiving and praise in the precious name of Jesus, our Lord and Savior. Amen.
Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight on the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rocket's red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home
And now, ladies and gentlemen, for the words we've all been waiting for, Grand Marshal Randy Privet.
Drivers, start your engines.
And the audio level has just raised up a notch here at Bristol Motor Speedway. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series is back after a 3-year hiatus, and we're going racing from Bristol. And welcome back to the world's fastest half mile right here in Bristol, Tennessee. As the trucks begin to roll onto the track, let's take a look at the U.S. Army starting grid. Ted Musgrave claims the pole. He's just 21 points behind first place Brendan Gaughan, who'll be on his outside to start this race. John Wood and Terry Cook making up row 2. Matt Crafton and David Starr in row 3.
Looking down there, watch that Kevin Harvick in that 6. He's going to be good. There's Travis Popple alongside Bobby Hamilton, 6th row right there.
Ken Schrader qualified to start in the 7th row, but because of an engine change, he will have to start at the back of the field.
You know what, Robert Presley looked good in practice, qualified good. How about Paul Menard? Great run for him. Dennis Setzer outside. Going right here to Lance Hooper, Ryan Hempel.
And another guy who has to go to the back, we saw Ryan, or the number 2 of Jason Leffler. He had an engine change and will also go to the back of the field.
Johnny Chapman making another appearance in the Craftsman Truck Series. Been doing a good job.
And Ryan Hempel giving her a shot at the 15 right there.
And those are the remaining trucks in this 35 truck field here from Bristol Motor Speedway. We take a look at the Craftsman track description, and Barry, you know this one all too well.
Well, I'm going to tell you something. This is the devil's dance floor right here. It's a big half-mile racetrack. Got 200 laps, a little over 106 miles. But you want to run 100, Rick and Dorsey, and that means you want to be on the bottom. That's the preferred groove. This place is awesome. And we're going to have one heck of a show. And I guarantee you, every Busch driver and every Winston Cup driver that follow us up, they're watching this event.
And we take a look at the Mopar Dodge right there, the number 1 of Ted Musgrave. He has the opportunity to win the Craftsman Win from the Pole Award, which is a $10,000 award, which would go to his team if he's able to win this race starting from the pole. And guys, it hasn't been claimed for 18 races.
Dorsey, nobody wants, what's the deal?
Nobody wants that
money.
10 grand. I don't know what's going on. Tell you what, though, you can be riding around. Here's Jason Leffler. He has to start at the back because they changed the motor. He's going to give you a whale of a ride as he tries to move up in the number 2 Team ASC CarQuest Racing Dodge there.
52, Kenny Schrader, Federated Auto Parts, made an engine change. He'll be dropping back.
So we're riding with two very talented drivers that will start from the back of the field. And another guy that's very talented, starting in 10th position, will be Kevin Harvick, and we'll ride along with him as well.
Nothing to lose. Kevin Harvick's all for the win. That's what he's for. Terry Cook, on the other hand, is going to be running for his first win of the year, possibly.
Good qualifying run, Power Stroke Diesel, number 29.
Very good qualifying run for Terry Cook. He'll start in 4th position.
I'll tell you what, they've seen a lot of that tailgate, the Orleans Dodge up front, Dorsey.
Yeah, they've seen way too much of that the way they're looking at it.
Let's head down to trackside at Phil Parsons.
Well, thank you, Rick. I want to talk about Musgrave, Hamilton, Harvick, Schrader, and Presley. Between them, they have 98 Winston Cup starts. This may be the toughest track on the circuit, probably even tougher than Darlington. I'm going with the experience tonight. How about you, Ray?
Well, Phil, I'm going with a guy who doesn't have any Winston Cup experience at this racetrack, and so far this year he hasn't led a lap in competition. But I think the 75 Spears team of David Starr is going to be awfully good tonight. They were good in both practices. He starts up front. I think he'll be a factor before the night's over.
Pretty bold statement there from Ray Dunlap, calling the Spears Manufacturing 75 for his victory tonight.
Well, you know what, Ray's done his homework today. Obviously, the 75 truck looked good. National Rifle Association backed along with Wayne Spears. It looked good in practice, and it looked better and better and better. And he backed it up with a great qualifying run, Dorsey.
Barry, you and I were watching that thing up here, and they came in and worked on it. They didn't do a lot. They did a little tweaking here and there, but it would rock it. It's got a good forward bite, gets off these corners real hard. It's going to be definitely a contender. And
let me take a look at the Craftsman race analysis for the O'Reilly 200. Again, we've got 35 trucks starting, only going 200 laps, meaning
only
100 miles.
Your neck would be falling off at about 10 miles right here.
You know, we talked about guys who are running well in practice and qualifying. Matt Crafton in the Menards 88 ran real well in practice and qualified very well. He starts 5th.
Yeah, that's the best run for him in quite a long time.
Bristol, Tennessee. Matt is very aggressive. It's going to be a great test for his patience, and that's what it's going to take to have a good run here tonight, and he needs that.
Matt actually, before the race, had kind of explained this track to me a little bit. You run as fast as you can through these corners because you got nowhere to go but around.
And here we're getting ready to start, and I tell you what, you really want to tighten your belts up here, be safe, have everything in there. We're getting ready to do the Bristol Stomp right here. Buckle up, Buttercup. We're going racing.
Mike Dolan sets the pace truck down pit road, and now Ted Musgrave will hold the pace as they come out of turn number 4, and they'll take the green flag for the O'Reilly 200.
That little boy say, mix them up. Let's mix them up.
Good start from Musgrave, right where he wants to be on the bottom, and he can this is a place where you can really get away if you get good track position.
Already had 3 wide at the back. Those guys from the behind riding with Kenny Schrader trying to make their way up.
Look where Schrader's already way up there. You'll see him come in the picture here. I mean, he's moved up a dozen spots already. He went to the outside. You can do that after you cross the start-finish line on the start, and he was well aware of that, took advantage of it. You see him right here going by Jody Lavender. And Leffler he's moving.
Matt Crafton gets in the back of Terry Cook.
This is going to stack them up. Now you see what happens at Bristol. That's going to come down here. Good job by everybody right there avoiding that.
What was I just talking about, boys?
Yep.
Matt Crafton being aggressive.
And he just took the 29 for a ride, no question about it. Now, good job by everybody. Terry Cook kept the thing off the wall, and then when it slid down, everybody stayed out of it. So that was the first lucky.
And we heard Kay Keselowski right there. That's his spotter and team owner, and she made the comment, no contact. Is that to keep Terry Cook the nerves down a little bit, not gunning for somebody?
I think it settles down the crew also, and she's a very, very good spotter. You see how calm she was? Here are the replays right here.
We take a look at how caution number 1 came out.
She said no contact, and I said I beg to differ. I just got contacted right in the back end right there and sent around for a loop. So if I'm Terry, I'm a little bit mad at Matt Crafton right now. You see it again right here, right in the quarter panel. See ya. Wouldn't want to be ya.
Well, he thought he had him cleared. Came down, and that's this typical Bristol right here.
Only it didn't cause a big wreck, and that's unusual because usually it would have.
Well, let's give you another view as we ride on board with Terry Cook. Whoa!
Hang on. You're good. Good job, Terry. Hang on.
That's a good woman driver right there.
Hang on. Believe me, he's hanging on all right.
He's in for 4 tires. They're a little bit flat spotted, but a phenomenal job, Dorsey, of being up front, not getting collected. Phenomenal job by the rest of the field to miss him, and for Terry Cook keeping it off the wall.
It's usually unusual here at Bristol for the truck not to slide back down into the middle of everybody else. So maybe Phil can help us out with the 29. Hey, Phil?
Yeah, Dorsey, you're exactly right. He was afraid he had flat spotted tires, so he said he cannot take any chances. They got to come in and put 4 fresh tires on. He lost all his track position anyway, so really had nothing to lose. Came in and got 4 fresh tires. He should be in good shape.
Guys, the other unique thing about Bristol is we've got pits on both sides of the infield here. So Terry Cook pitted on the opposite side of the infield, but had to stay on pit road and come out on turn number 1 when he was able to get free from all of the traffic.
Exactly, and as you can see, he had to get caught up before he stopped here, because if you don't at Bristol, and if you're not very, very quick in the pits and your spotter is not heads up, it's a great place to lose a lap.
When they go to green flag stops, this place gets really confusing. Really hard to get off the steep bank corner and down into the pits without getting in trouble, because of the transition back to the apron so big that you just want to spin out down there. We'll see it later when things start happening.
Pace truck makes its way back down pit road, and again Ted Musgrave will set the pace. At the beginning of this race, he jumped out in front of Brendan Gaughan. We'll see if he can do the restart here.
Not quite as big a jump as he got before. I tell you what, these guys in the back, they're hammering. They're really coming up now.
52-2. They are bumper to bumper and on the move, and see what's going on here. There's Rick Crawford, another good truck. Carl Edwards being patient.
Look back right behind there.
Paul Menard.
Paul Menard. He's going to drive in Trans Am race on Sunday, so he's got double duty this weekend up in Wisconsin at Elkhart Lake.
Kevin Harvick making the pass on John Wood, and Matt Crafton's going to follow right behind him.
He's got up high. The spotter's got to get him down, and that's what he's trying to do right now. And I guarantee you, John's saying, "Get me down, get me down, get me down."
David Starr says, "No, you can come down, but not till I go by. You're not coming down." Oh, right there. You see that? Chad Chapman got a little wiggle out of Dicky's Dodge. Now he's in a backup, guys. He totaled his primary truck right before in his first practice before qualifying.
A little bumping going on there. John Wood just can't get down right now. Rick Crawford making the pass.
A little bump and run. That's a bad situation to be in. Now he's clear if he'll come down. Great job by John and the spotter.
And his partner, Carl Edwards, just out in front of him. Teammate.
What makes this place so
We got trouble on the back stretch, turn 3.
Yes, we do. Wayne Edwards there has gone around.
Wayne Edwards has a problem. Caution number 2 comes out here, and Thunder Valley. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. We take a look at why we're under caution number 2. Oh! And that was a little bit rougher than what we had thought had taken place.
Wayne Edwards, and that's Randy Briggs. It's got a free moon launch, as we call it. Went up over the top.
Johnny Chapman, good job missing it. We're going back green right here. Musgrave out front. He's had phenomenal restarts so far.
So Ted Musgrave has led all of the laps here. 13 of them complete.
Chad Chapman making a move to the outside.
Did you see that Dodge jump? David Starr's not going to let him have the inside line.
He better get down. See, it's a good move to make that move to the outside on the start, but you better be able to get back and manipulate the bottom.
Well, he did too. Look, he got right back in front of David in 75. Now Rick Crawford stuck on the high side in 14 Ford. He's going to get in right here.
Crawford tucks in right in front of Carl Edwards, but just behind David Starr, who's moving up through the field.
This is where you don't have any friends. You get hung out on the upside like that, and nobody will help you, and you're going to go further back and further back. That's when the guys on your back door, you know, as we're looking up front here, it's a pass for second going on. You know who it is? Harvick. That's what we've been talking about, the 6.
You know what?
Harvick on the run.
You didn't need to stopwatch when Kevin Harvick went out. The truck just looked awesome.
And he's not running for points, so he can bang and beat and push and shove, and it's all for the win for him.
He's running for something better than points. Victory Junction game.
Guy who is running for points, though, is the 16 of Travis Quapple. And currently Travis way back in 9th position right now.
Robert Presley in the 59 all over the back of him. Like I say, you try to loosen the guy up. You can go down a lap here so fast. You just can't be held up by anybody. You got to find a way around him. And if it means pushing him up the racetrack, that's what you do.
I think of all the venues we go to, this is the most difficult place to gain points and the easiest place to lose them.
Phil?
Yeah, guys, that was prearranged for Brendan Gaughan to let Kevin Harvick go by. He told the spotter, tell the 6 truck as soon as we get strung out here a little bit on this restart, I know you're faster than me. I'm going to pull over and let you go.
That's a smart thing right there. That's points racing. Brendan Gaughan, of course, leading, but not by that much. He doesn't want to get in a wreck with the 6. You know, the 6 is in here, and he realizes he's quicker.
He's a little quicker than Musgrave right now.
And Dorsey, all these guys have talked about rhythm, getting into a rhythm. Is that kind of what Brendan Gaughan wants to do, is fall in behind Kevin Harvick and maybe feel what his rhythm is like?
We might find something there. You know, you might learn that something that Kevin's doing that you're not doing. Brendan knew that he was coming. His spotter's already told him, hey, the 6 is faster than you. It's coming. That was a really smart thing to do. Just tell the 6, go on by. I'm on behind and see what I can find out.
Well, as we touched on earlier, Kevin Harvick is running for a trophy and money for Victory Junction game. Brendan Gaughan has got to be very points smart tonight. It's got to be points savvy.
And with this being the 10th race from the end here, these guys are really focused on a points championship. Brendan Gaughan currently sitting on top. Travis Kvapil is in second. And Ted Musgrave currently in third, but only 21 points out of the top spot.
You're out of races to make up if you have a bad day here or a bad night and you tear something up and don't get any points. You're running out of races. You're going to have to start playing it really smart now.
And these guys do it out of Las Vegas, Nevada on a weekly basis. Brendan Gaughan, very, very strong. Jason Leffler right there in the 2. Look where he's at. He's already caught Bill Lester, 15th, going for 15th here. Got it. And Lester's fast. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap.
Well, Barry, when this race started, Jason Leffler thought he had a flat tire. He got on the radio and said this thing feels really, really soft in the right front. They said, Dennis Conner, his crew chief, said it may be the steering box that we changed out after happy hour. We did make a change there. They decided they did not have a flat tire, and now Leffler says the truck is getting much, much better.
And Jason Leffler trying to get around the number 8 of Bill Lester, and those Dodges running very well. You see 3 of them all running together here. Bill Lester and Jason Leffler, and right behind them, team owner Bobby Hamilton in the Square D Dodge. And problems at a 4.
Yeah, we got everybody hitting everybody at 4. Travis Kvapil got into it back there. They saved it. That was good news.
Well, Dorsey, you're a driver. Now, I think a racetrack like this at Bristol, you would feel any kind of change, don't you?
You do, and you know, Leffler just learned something back there too. He tried to go on the top side, tried to get around on the top side of the 8 of Bill Lester, and it didn't work. And now he realizes that Lester's a little stronger than what he thought he was.
Yep. They're strung out all the way around right now. They just need to use patience. We haven't gone far.
These guys right here, the 16 and the 46, I've been swapping paint and banging on each other and got all sideways. Haven't wrecked yet, but they're looking to.
Well, the guy that started it all was back there in the 59, Robert Preston, racing hard. Leader in traffic right now.
Now, this is where you get in trouble. Exactly. These lead guys are knifing through traffic, and if you're a guy in the middle, you know that they're coming. Spotters yelling at you, get it moving. Here comes the 1 truck. You know, you got to get going. You'll get a lap down. And this is where people get aggressive. You got to start really making things happen. Look right here.
Well, Bristol's a place.
Randy McDonald is the next to go a lap down from the Mopar Dodge of Ted Musgrave. And now the 6 of Kevin Harvick trying to reel in Ted Musgrave here at Bristol.
Welcome back to Bristol. You see Kevin Harvick, our 2nd place runner, in for 4 tires. He was complaining about the truck being a little bit loose in. They put some air in the right front tire, put 4 tires on it. That should get him in his window. Right?
Hey, Phil, I just want to let you know Bobby Hamilton is going to come in. They want to pull rubber out of the left rear of his Square D Dodge. Bobby has not been happy with his truck here in the early stages, even though we've only run 36 laps. He has said he did not like the way the chassis was. Here these guys come. He will be getting pit service today from Bobby Hamilton Jr.'s Marines team. These guys from the Busch Series. Michael Henson and Kyle Power changes the tires for him. Alan Mincy is the jackman, and Art Harris does the gasoline here. They're going to go with 4 tires. You see that spring rubber does come out of the left rear, so that'll hold him up just a little bit, but it won't be enough. He'll be able to get back to the racetrack, so a big adjustment for Hamilton. Pulls the rubber out of the left rear.
You know, that's a win-win situation. Bobby's got a good crew here, and it's only warming these guys up for the Busch Series race.
And we're under caution number 3. You may wonder why we're slowed down to this pace. At lap 34, Randy Briggs, the number 53, slowed down on the track, and we had talked to or listened to his spotters earlier, and he mentioned to them he had no power. So once he got spun around there,
that's what spun him around. The thing just died in the middle of the corner, and it got into a trailing throttle oversteer spin. And One of the reasons he might not have power, remember, he was the one that got moon launched earlier on and took a big run up over to the moon launch.
Okay. Wayne Edwards was his ramp.
He was his ramp, and now he could have tore the wire out of the bottom of the starter motor or tore the battery wire up or something like that, but it's completely dead. The crew is telling him different things to try, but he says, trust me, guys, there's no power here.
Yeah, they'll get it back. Maybe he said, tell you what, 34 laps, he's had some rough ones.
Yeah, that was rough 34.
Well, let's head down trackside with Ray Dunlap.
Hey, Rick, just some funny stuff going on the radio for Ted Musgrave. He came on and said, hey, 35 laps complete, just 165 more to go. His crew chief, Gene Need, says, buddy, you got 1,200 laps this weekend. Don't worry about the 200 tonight.
I don't know if I agree with that or not, because the 200 tonight is where the points championship is. Of course, Ted running in everything this weekend here.
You know what we're talking about going to break was they were moving into lap traffic. And this is where you wish that lap truck would go up high and you could go under it. That's not the situation. You got to go around them, and a lot of that's happening in the corner, and you got to get back to the bottom. And then the higher you get off these corners, the more you're asking for trouble.
And when you run the high side like that and the guy forces you to go around him, you're also at risk that he gets loose on the bottom, comes up and hits you and wrecks you.
Yeah, here we're going green. Going green.
Ray had mentioned that he's going to be running a lot of laps. Ted Musgrave will run the Busch race and the Winston Cup race here this weekend.
That was a good restart.
Yeah, it was. He almost got loose on the bottom. The guy trying to get a lap back there in the 72. Randy McDonald almost jumped that start.
Man, that's a mess when they're too wide here.
Yes, it is.
And they're racing hard. But you do in this series, you have to.
Carl Edwards got trapped up on the top side. We'll see if he can make something happen up there.
Great view out of the ASC CarQuest Dodge right there.
And this is the man who's got smoke coming out of his helmet right now. That's Terry Cook. And he's going to be a little bit aggravated when he gets up to the 88. We'll see what happens.
Just went by Jody Lavender, 08.
You know what? He's got a long way to go to catch up to that 88, because currently Matt Crafton is sitting in 3rd position in this race. He is doing very well in the Menards 88.
He is doing very well. And I tell you what, that was some clever pit work, as we heard Ray Dunlap report on getting some of these guys inside the fuel window. We looked at fuel being an issue, lap 160 to 170. And we had to caution at 34, so those guys may not be back in tonight.
See on in-truck view how close everybody was? These guys right on top of each other now, no margin of error.
And guys, I mean, we're turning laps in about 15 seconds here.
That's fast.
They're going fast.
Oh, I mean, you can see it right there. And you saw the bumper view right there.
Oh, crash right behind us there. Yep. Saw it out of the back end. We're taking a look at the back, and I saw
Terry Cook's in trouble again.
On the right front.
Ryan Hemphill right here in the 15 we talked about, just getting a start.
Terry Cook with a lot of damage.
You all right, bud?
That's not what Terry Cook wanted or needed.
Ryan Hemphill in the 15 having problems, and then you take a look at the Power Stroke diesel number 29 of Terry Cook and the smoke rolling off of that. We'll settle this when we come back. The O'Reilly 200 on Speed Channel is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and the NHRA. And by Ford. If you haven't looked at a Ford lately, look again. And welcome back to Bristol, Tennessee for the O'Reilly 200 here for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And here is why we're under caution number 4. See the 29 of Terry Cook. They're getting a little loose.
I'd say a lot loose. So the 15 really didn't have a part. He spun all by himself. Ryan Hemphill there had to check up, and truck got out from underneath him and got impacted in the inside wall there. But that's the problem right there. Terry Cook just got loose as a goose.
Yeah,
that's a big hit on the inside.
It looked like he didn't want to get into the Menards truck and ended up wrecking himself.
That's exactly what he did. He tried to check right here. He tried not to wreck and then wreck himself.
Folks, you hear that sound at home? That's real. That's real speed on speed.
That hurts my head. It hurts my ribs, my shoulders. Everything hurts.
Let's go down trackside and Ray Dunlap.
Well, a couple of trucks coming to pit road right now, Rick, at lap 48. The 75 Spears Manufacturing Chevrolet is in for David Starr. Ronnie Carey and Chris Beeson are the tire changers. Starr said that he felt pretty good about that truck, but he said they wanted to get fresh tires on it. Now we come down pit road a little further. The 88 Menards Chevy of Matt Crafton has come in. They're going to do 4 tires at this end, too. And believe it or not, guys, a few people down here are saying that they believe they can go the rest of this race on fuel and tires, which would be 152 laps or so. We'll see if that is possible, but these guys have come to pit road. How about on your side, Phil?
I'm telling you, Ray, Kevin Harvick claims that they can make it the rest of the way. They stopped at lap 35. Obviously, that gives them 165 laps to go. They said they're good on fuel till the end, so this could be a fuel mileage race. Right now, Kevin Harvick looks like he may be in a catbird seat.
Kevin Harvick feeling confident that he can make it to the end of the race. And again, this is why we're under caution number 4. We're on board with Terry Cook, Power Stroke Diesel number 29. You felt that bang as he hit the outside wall. He was able to keep going, but the 15 of Ryan Hemphill trying to avoid Terry got down on the inside apron and spun around and stopped, and so that was why the caution flag came out.
Lucky that's only where it appears to be cosmetic.
That's surprising, because when you're riding on board, you see how it slapped the front end and the back end hit first and it snapped the front over. That's usually a big hit when that happens. It's a wonder it didn't knock the toe out.
Yeah.
A lot of sheet metal damage here today, Barry.
Well, this is one race that the transport drivers, they look forward to getting home. You know, here we're on a Wednesday night, which is kind of unusual for us, but these haulers never have a problem at the weigh stations when they go home, because you normally leave more sheet metal here than you came with.
Coming home with half a truck.
Oh, yeah.
Got a rolling chassis is what you have.
Terry Cook continues to come into his pit to make any adjustments that he needs and then try to stay out in front of that pace truck so that he doesn't lose an additional lap.
This time they went underneath the hood to have a look down inside there, because we already saw that it was missing some brake hose pieces and so forth already on the racetrack.
Well, he's getting real close to getting lapped over here.
Well, be sure to tune in Speed Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern to catch Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. As always, Dave takes your calls and emails live virtually on any racing subject. Stock cars, Indy cars, Formula One, drag racing, motorcycles, whatever is on your mind. Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain, 4 nights a week at 9 p.m. Eastern, only on Speed.
Is that Hornaday or Musgrave in that one? You see his restart starts.
Boy, he's got it going, doesn't he? He just jumps out there. Big lead. That's what you want, too. Get away from all these guys behind you that are racing so hard.
Guys, this is normally the time you would see Wind Tunnel, and Mike Helton will actually be on the show with Dave Despain tomorrow. So a great show there because Mike Helton's got a lot to talk about.
I bet he'll have a lot to talk about. I can't wait to hear what the fans have to say about all this.
Jimmy Spencer actually had a truck entered in this race, but because of the appeal and then they upheld his suspension, and so Jimmy Spencer won't be racing this weekend here in Bristol.
That truck is actually here tonight, but it's in the hall. See, they're trying to get sorted out again here. And I'll tell you what, you got to execute a lot of patience here. See Kevin Harvick right there, riding on board with him. Good truck.
Kevin Harvick currently in 6th position, and Kevin is again racing for a trophy.
Right.
And he tries to make his way around Carl Edwards
on the outside.
Makes it pretty easily.
Yeah, I think Carl Edwards saw him coming and just said, no, go ahead. You know, he had a good shot there. His new sponsor, Super Chips. Of course, they make car enhancement products that are the electronic chips you can buy and make your car run a whole lot better and a lot more efficiently. And a nice company.
You see right here earlier, got a bolt holding the windshield strap. It's kind of backing out, but it's not. That's not going to hurt anything. Might be a flat tire for somebody, but not for Kevin Harvick.
Harvick currently running in 5th position, again just behind. Problems again with Terry Cook.
Not having a good night, not having a great year at all.
Off turn 2, the same place. It's had 3 altercations.
So now he heads down pit road.
It looks like the right rear.
Well, you know, they're talking about a right rear that's rubbing. NASCAR brought him in because the right rear was rubbing. You're hearing the drivers saying no way.
You saw the difficulty getting on pit road. Phil Parsons, what you got, bud?
Yeah, you're exactly right. He does have a rub on the right rear. Also, the toe is knocked out. Obviously, he knew that because of the steering wheel being off center. So, a myriad of problems for Terry Cook in a Power Stroke diesel Ford.
They continue to do body work there for the 29, and we take a look at what happened as he got into the infield.
Well, that's what I was talking about before. He tried to get down on the pit lane quickly, and as soon as he hit that apron,
back in, 29 back in.
much right here.
Come back in, Terry. You got to run.
Too much speed. Oh, around she goes.
And see, Bristol is sort of a self-cleaning racetrack. All that rubber and debris is coming down this concrete, collecting on the bottom, and he just drove through it right there and came in too quick. And folks, we got a new leader.
Brendan Gaughan out in front, and he is your points leader. And now he is out in front of the pack here. And here we take a look back at how that lead took place.
Oh, Musgrave slips up big time, gets loose, has to check up, takes Chaffin with him. Chad Chaffin, 18, is going to run up the inside.
Dodge running very strong. Ted Musgrave is going down pit road, and Ray Dunlap, actually Ted Musgrave staying out.
He's backing up. Something's going on. He's got a flat or something.
Yeah, he's thinking he's got a flat, more than likely.
He's got a problem, and so he's probably trying to get into pit lane.
I wonder if it's that little windshield bolt in Harvick's.
That wasn't there anymore. It could be. Might be in that tire. But now he's running again. He might have just got up out of the. He just wiggled and got up on top of the racetrack, and then.
He's still having problems running very high through turns 1 and 2. A lot of guys would say he's diamonding it, but he's running.
Oh, left front.
He's got a flat left front.
I think he's got a left front, guys. It's the way that left front wiggled there and getting in that corner. I'll take a look here and see if.
He's trying to get him cleaned up to see if that's a problem, but I don't think it is, Dorsey. It would already be clean here, Bristol.
He's trying to feel the truck out. But here in the meantime, we got another battle. It's Chad Chaffin trying to get the lead away from Brendan Gaughan. And right in the middle of that, they're going to have a lap truck.
Now this kid is good here. Chaffin is good. Like I said, that's a backup truck. That's a backup truck. Last out to qualify. They had to make a lot of changes and getting it prepared. And here he is.
That's what you were just riding on board there. The 6. Kevin Harvick's in this fray too.
And Chad Chaplin's got a lot of laps here. He's run in the Busch Series here. He's been able to see this track 6 times in the Busch Series, and yet he had problems during practice, had to go to a backup truck. And there we go. Kevin Harvick making the pass on Chad Chaffin now.
Takes Rick Crawford with him as they move Chaffin up to the upper lane. Crawford been too deep right there. Now he might get passed back.
You know, the draft does nothing here, Dorsey, but you just hit it on the head. If a guy opens a hole, you can really jump in there and go with him.
Yeah, and you get in the corner too tight or too deep like Rick Crawford did over there. Truck pushes up, it opens up a hole. Somebody drive right under
the Orleans Dodge out in front of this one. And Brendan Gaughan trying to extend his points lead here in the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. We're currently on board with our new leader, Kevin Harvick. And I tell you what, it's been a very exciting season. And you can check out the mid-season review show on September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. We're taking a look back at the first half of this season and looking ahead and the outlook of our drivers and our professionals here in the booth as far as what they think the second half will be. So tune in for the mid-season review show September 2nd at 7 p.m. Eastern. And let's take a look now at how Kevin Harvick got out in front of Brendan Gaughan.
He just basically gets him caught up in traffic here. Bill Lester had been holding him up. Looking right here. Brendan's up in front. Kevin runs on the bottom, gets down underneath him, and just makes it look real easy.
You know, he told me today, he said, boy, you cannot believe how this thing sticks to the racetrack. And I said, Kevin, that's what all these truck drivers say at the fast trucks. They make a lot of downforce. We got good parity. And he said, this is going to be fun tonight.
Another thing about Kevin Harvick, you had mentioned he doesn't run brake ducts on this.
You don't need them here. If you got brake ducts here at Bristol, you're it's like Dover. You don't touch them. I mean, a driver wants to for security to know that they're there in case he needs them, because you got an avoided crash here. Something can happen in turn 4 and you be in turn 2 and get into it. But if you start hitting those brakes, then you're going to make the thing push.
Guys, the next truck in front of Kevin Harvick is the number 1 of Ted Musgrave, who is 2 laps down. And right now, Kevin Harvick trying to make that 3 laps because he doesn't want that number 1 Dodge coming back later in this race to haunt him, because you can get 2 laps back here.
Oh, you can get 2 laps back here. It's tough. Let's go down to Ray Dunlap for more.
Barry, right here's the reason Musgrave came in. This is his right rear tire. You see the cut that came right across the center right there. Now, when he did come to pit road that last time, they only changed right side, so only 2 tires on the Mopar Dodge, right sides only, so that they had the least amount of time in the pits.
A while ago, we had a great pass for second.
Saw that coming too. You're going to see that. I was just about to say, guy getting aggressive. There's our Carl Edwards, 99 Super Chips Ford. Take a look what he does. Catches Brendan Gaughan right there. They look bump. He's going to make it 3 wide.
3 wide.
Just right down the inside he goes. I'll take that position.
Dorsey, don't say 5 wide here.
No, we're not done yet. His Robert Presley wants to do it. I don't think 5 wide will work unless 3 of them are in the fence.
David Stover was in the number 63 that was on the outside of that. And look at Carl Edwards marching through this field.
Here he comes.
Never been here before. I listened in. They changed everything on this truck today. I mean everything. They changed all 4 shocks, changed the rear gear, they changed the track bars, they changed, and he just couldn't get it right. He was looking for that little bit of edge.
Again, more lap traffic that they're working through. Carl Edwards trying to keep Kevin Harvick inside. With more on Carl Edwards, Phil Parsons.
Hey, Rick, I talked to Doug Richard a minute ago. He said about 10 laps ago, Carl reported in that his truck was absolutely perfect. I said, Doug, when are you going to stop? He said, well, I'm not sure. He said, I think we might could make it all the way on fuel. I said, you mean all 200 laps? He said, I think we probably could, but we might need tires, so we probably will stop one time. But I would not be too shocked to see these guys try to stretch it and run all 200 laps on 1 tank of fuel.
They can do it, but I think Phil's exactly right. They're going to want tires at this racetrack. You know why? People have already put on tires.
So Kevin Harvick trying to put Ted Musgrave another lap down, and look at Carl Edwards trying to make it 3 in a row. That young rookie sitting in second. Be sure to tune in Speed Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern to catch Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. As always, Dave takes your calls and emails live on virtually any racing subject. Now, tomorrow night, he has got Mike Helton up there with him. And I'll tell you what, guys, I'm tuning into that one because that's going to be a lot of fun listening to Mike Helton talk about, well,
you know what
Jimmy
he's going to talk about.
Yeah.
You know, folks, you got to tune in to Wind Tunnel this week. It was great last night, and it's going to be even better with Mike Helton on. They're going to get some issues straight, and it's going to be a great show. I love watching it.
Carl Edwards currently in second position. We take a look at how he got there. He had a veteran in his way.
Yeah, he just gave him the bump and run is all he did. Give him a little bump. Ted moved up the racetrack. 99 goes by. Ted says, I'll remember that next time I see you.
Now, guys, look, you can expect Brendan to have a good run. He tested here. It was a Dodge factory test, but Carl Edwards never seen the place.
Now, right behind their 75, you see David Starr right there. Looks like he's running for second place. He really isn't. He just made a pit stop right before he went to break. So
David Starr actually 3 laps down.
He had a right rear.
He's running really well right behind Carl Edwards.
So he also had cut a right rear, Barry, just like Ted Musgrave did.
And both of them are 3 down.
Right.
Carl Edwards trying to complete the hat trick. 3 consecutive wins. He's got 2 under his belt already. And could it be 3 here at Bristol? He's in some pretty good company there. Skinner, Hornaday, and Biffle.
Well, I tell you what's going to happen. They're going to be in some pretty good traffic here in just a few laps because his teammate is 1 straightaway ahead of him up there with Dennis Setzer and Bobby Hamilton, who doesn't want to go a lap down here, and Kenny Schrader. So it's going to get really hectic here in just a couple laps.
And right here, this is a battle for 10th position. John Wood currently holding on to it. Dennis Setzer in 11th. Right behind him, and Dennis trying to take the position away from John Wood. A great pass on the inside. We talk about Dennis Setzer being a short track ace. The guy knows how to get around, but man, Bristol is just something different.
Saw it in that pass right there. He had set that one up absolutely perfectly. Didn't have to hit him or rough him up. He just got it down, got the nose underneath him, and just got to launch off the corner. But I tell you, these guys, the spotters, are in their ear right now saying, step up the pace, guys. The fast boys are coming. They're coming hard.
Well, and Harvick's on the radio saying, get these people out of my way. He wants to put everybody down a lap that he can. Everybody a lap down that he can possibly. He's moving in on the Federated Auto Parts truck right now. Kenny had to go the back. He marched just a little way, but you can't. It's hard to get going here. It's hard to get up front.
And Ken Schrader currently in 13th position. He's about to put the 13th place truck a lap down.
Not if Kenny's got something to say about it, I'll tell you that. And then you also got right behind him, you got, you know, Carl Edwards in the 99. He wants to get in the middle of this thing. And the 75.
I don't think he had anything to say.
No, he didn't have much to say.
He said goodbye.
He said, bye. See you. Oh, but now he's going to put the 4 down next. Bobby Hamilton. I mean, trying to put the Hamilton a lap down here.
Bobby's struggling. This team is really struggling as of late.
Boy, you look at Harvick on the bottom of the racetrack. I mean, that thing is just stuck like glue. He can go right down. He can go around the top this time. No problem with that pass.
And see, Schrader is wanting to stay in touch with these guys to try to get a lap back if he can.
Believe it or not, the fastest truck on the track right now is a 75. The Spears manufacturing Chevrolet is the fastest one, but he's mired in behind Carl Edwards. He wants that lap back bad. David Starr.
Fastest laps turned in today. Kevin Harvick has the top 3, and he is out in front of this one, 111 laps into it. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway. You see the yellow flag being thrown there, and that is because we're under caution number 5. Debris on the track is the reason for the flag coming out, and this is going to be a good opportunity for some guys to get down pit road that we're thinking they might have some problems later on if they didn't. Let's head down to pit road and Phil Parsons.
Yeah, guys, Carl Edwards is in fact going to take advantage of this caution flag and come in, put 4 tires on. He's going to take a half a pound out of the right rear. The truck is just a little bit too loose for him, but he is going to put 4 tires on, half a pound out of the right rear, and this will be his only pit stop more than likely in this race. Ray, what's happening on your side?
Well, Phil, Brendan Gaughan will be in just a second. His chassis is T2. He has been very, very happy with this. A real minute change. They're going to put 1/2 a round in the right rear on the Orleans Dodge. He gets here right now. This will be a 4-tire stop. They said make sure you bunch up as tight as you can with the guys on pit road. The right side guys go to work. They'll have that bit done. There goes that 1/2 a round. Actually, it was in the left rear, So they made a change on that. Guys get around. Right sides are done. Left side will be no problem here. Brendan Gaughan running in the top 5 tonight. He's got to be careful. Carl Edwards goes by. They get the work done. He will head back out in the Orleans Dodge.
Jason Leffler, a tight fit.
Oh,
he's got to back up.
That cost him a lot of time right there. Chad Chaffin struck right in the way.
And the way you get into your pits is so critical.
These are tight pits, too. You got to be right on the money.
You can see some laps lost right here, guys.
Carl Edwards and Brendan Gaughan were 2nd and 3rd before the caution and before the pits. Well, we've got Kevin Harvick out in front here in Bristol. And welcome back to Thunder Valley. We're under caution number 6 on lap 123. Kevin Harvick still out in front of the pack, and he stayed out during our last caution, and so he holds on to the top spot. Travis Kvapil and Matt Craftsman also stayed out, and so they are in the top 3.
Welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway with the Craftsman pit crew close-up. Doug Richard, crew chief for Carl Edwards. Doug, you told me about 30 laps to go. You wasn't sure that you were even going to stop in this race.
Well, if they were going to force my hand, I wasn't going to stop. You know, track position's everything here, but our Super Chip Ford, you know, is running good. So we got 4 good tires now, and we'll be able to restart 4th. So that's good track position on those guys in front of us that don't have good tires.
How about you, a driver that's never seen this racetrack before?
I tell you what, I'll tell anyone that he is awesome. He adapts well. He never saw it till he walked it this morning, and he's very impressive.
There's Doug Richard, our Craftsman pit crew close-up. Now back upstairs.
And we had talked about how impressive Carl Edwards is right now. We compared him to the likes of Kurt Busch, and Kurt Busch was Rookie of the Year here in 2000, finished 2nd in the point standings, had 4 wins. Carl Edwards currently 3 wins on the season.
David Starr jumped this. He jumped this restart. We'll see what happens here. Harvick is a master at manipulating you into doing that.
Yeah, but he's going to get a black flag, guys. At 75, David Starr's going to get a black flag. And Ray knows something. Hey, Ray.
Hey, Dorsey, that was planned. Kevin Harvick told David Starr, I'll let you have your lap back right there as long as you're courteous towards the end of the race. If I get back up there and I'm racing with somebody, you let me go. They said, yes, sir, we'll do that. So Starr jumped out there, and Harvick let him go on purpose.
I think it's more like a setup.
He's spinning out coming into pits.
Coming too hard, David Starr.
75 is backwards.
Oh, that's what I was talking about at the beginning of the show. Transitioning off that steep banking onto this flat apron, and he got in with too much speed and is spun out now. That's catastrophic.
This is the best truck they've had all year.
Was very strong, but he was 3 laps down. I mean, he was fighting to get laps back there on that restart.
Guess what? He's a lot more laps down now. I think that's the last we're going to see of him being competitive. This is the same thing I talked about. Just too much speed. Got down there on the flat where there's no grip, and boy, around she comes. Nothing you can do.
He's aggravated those tires also. Ray?
Hey, guys, the NASCAR officials had already told him you got to come to pit road. So David David Starr was trying to make his way to pit road that time. That's what set that thing all up. There he goes, another lap down on the racetrack. Tough break for this guy. They were trying to get pit road, and that's why he spun.
Well, you talk about tough breaks. Let's talk about recipients. I tell you who got lucky a while ago. The 50 of John Wood, the 46 of Dennis Setzer, who the caution was for. They were dragging something, caused some debris to go on the racetrack. They were in Kevin Harvick's windshield to go a lap down.
And it wouldn't have taken more than a lap or two. Carl Edwards got in way too hot right there at the 99 Ford. Ted Musgrave now is trying to get a fender up underneath.
That's a bumper.
Yeah, remember that payback? Remember that payback? Remember that deal you did to me?
Yeah, I'll show you a super chip.
Let me show you something. Of course, that's payback around here. That's how it always gets.
You know what, boys? We've already seen what tires are doing tonight. You got to have tires at this racetrack because you don't have any lateral grip. This racetrack is smooth now, and that's why Doug Richard came in. He didn't want to go 200. He's already seen people put 2 tires on, and they're going to the front with them.
Guys, let's give a call to Matt Craftsman. I'm doing a whale of a job. I mean, he struggled all year running third right now. He's holding off 99 Carl Edwards, and that Chevrolet looks pretty darn good right now.
He's got Hunter power or Menards power under the hood. The first year for their own engine program. He ran Hunter stuff last year, and this kid is loaded with talent, but Bristol's going to test his patience, as we touched on when the race started.
Now, guys, when was the last time we saw a truck race with Chevrolets running 1, 2, 3?
It's been a while.
It's been quite a while.
That's a good point.
We have not heard Arrow push all day.
No, you're not going to hear much about that here.
Difficult here at Bristol. Matt Craftsman again running very well, currently in 3rd position, and we've got 137 laps in the books, and so with just 62 laps to go in this one, Matt Craftsman looking for maybe a career finish.
Oh yeah, and he's very worthy of that. Jason Leffler right here, ASE CarQuest Dodge up to 8th place. You see Elvis Presley. No, that's Robert Presley behind him right there in the 59.
That would make me nervous to see.
They've been racing hard.
Yeah, Robert Presley behind you is not at Bristol. That makes me a little nervous. Good, hard-charging competitor.
I tell you who's racing hard. It's Musgrave and 99. See Harvick right here. He's on a Wednesday night tailgate party.
Now, Kevin Harvick's probably thinking, all right, I've just got to be cautious here. Great side-by-side racing there.
Not anymore.
Chad Chaffin getting by Carl Edwards, taking 4th away from Carl Edwards.
Chaffin stove that thing in there, man. Just drove right by him. Almost took Rick Crawford with him. I don't know if Carl was set up for that, if he was ready for that. And I don't think his 4 tires have helped. He doesn't look to be handling very as good as he was earlier on.
I don't think they're up yet, Dorsey. You can get pretty low here, and you can get way down the inner liner, and it takes a while to get them going because we're on concrete. It's not a very hot racetrack. If it's 85 out there, the racetrack's 85. But we're asphalt, it'd be 110, 120.
A little bump drafting there as Rick Crawford trying to get by Carl Edwards, and they'll run all the way through the corner.
Taking Brendan Gaughan.
Yeah, Brendan going with him.
Carl Edwards in jeopardy of losing his Super Chips decal off the back of that thing. Everybody's roughing him up. Look here. That's what it looks like.
He's not got a happy truck right now.
See that yellow stripe? That's not going to be there long. He's made a mockery of this rookie deal. I mean, he's an awesome driver.
And you know, guys, moments ago, we thought that Kevin Harvick was having some problems, but what he was doing is he was slowing down to allow the 75 of David Starr to get his lap back. They had talked about that on the restart, and then David Starr jumped it. They black flagged him. He tried to come in, but Kevin Harvick, good for his word, allowing the 75 of David Starr to get by.
That's when you're really strong, when you can play that kind of game from the lead position, when you can slow up and say, go ahead, take your lap back. That's strong. Here's Leffler, that's strong too.
Robert Presley running almost on the asphalt there.
Some of the guys
on the concrete there, but Robert Presley getting a couple wheels on the asphalt as he was going through the corner the last time around.
Some of those guys are dropping the left side tires down on there. That normally tightens the truck up real bad though.
Yeah, it'll turn it here, Dorsey. They get them on the asphalt.
And so Jason Leffler has Robert Presley behind him, but Kevin Harvick has the field behind him in Bristol. Coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series O'Reilly 200 on Speed Channel is brought to you by Chevy Trucks, the most dependable, longest-lasting trucks on the road. By the 4,000 CarQuest stores in North America, you'll find it at CarQuest. And by Domino's Pizza, the official pizza of NASCAR. Bumping and banging going on here at Bristol Motor Speedway. Kevin Harvick out in front with just 45 laps remaining.
Thing's on a rail, just drives around on the bottom like it was nobody's business. Unfortunately, guys behind them are not having it quite so easy. Victory Junction gang going to be the big recipient of the money here. There's trouble. Both these guys been in trouble. The 99's been in trouble, and the 2 both have fallen way back into the pack, and we don't know yet what's wrong.
You see the ASA CarQuest Dodge here from inside the truck. There are 2 trucks behind them. That's how much racetrack Carl Edwards has lost from whatever they did to the truck besides the 4 tires. I guarantee you Ray can add on it. What you got, bud?
Well, Barry, Jason Leffler's just really, really loose. I wondered if there was something in particular wrong with the truck, and he said no. Down in their pits, they said no. He's just so loose that he can't hold on to the thing. But here's the good news. Leffler has run 1 Winston Cup and 2 Busch Grand National races here, and he never made it past lap 25 before getting into a crash. So he's pretty happy that he's just been able to stay out there. Oh, he about did it with the 99. But anyway, Leffler's very, very loose, even though he makes the pass. Phil?
Ditto here for the 99 Ray, also very, very loose. I talked to Doug Richard. I said, is this set of tires not as good? He said, we actually tried to tighten the truck up a little bit, and the thing is really, really loose. Obviously, he restarted the race in 4th position, and now he's dropped all the way back out of the top 10. So they're struggling with the 99 truck of Carl Edwards.
Yeah, right now he's in 11th position, and if he keeps going like that, they're going to lap him.
Well, actually, he's the last truck on the lead lap, so he's got to look out for that number 6 of Kevin Harvick that's coming up behind him.
Yeah,
does.
That'd be the one that Harvick would really like to put a lap down too, is get that 99 a lap down.
See Schrader right here having a tough night right there. How about this kid right here? 2nd place.
Yeah, a proverbial 2nd place finisher we get talking about all the time. Somehow by the end of the race, that 16's right up there.
A very quiet 2nd place. Let's go down with more and Phil Parsons.
Yeah, I talked to Chris Showalter a few moments ago, crew chief on this 16 IWX Chevrolet. He said they're a little bit loose right now, but he's run some great lap times. I've been watching the computer, and every lap he's about a half a tenth, or maybe even a tenth faster than Kevin Harvick when he has clean racetrack. Kevin Harvick has the advantage of being a leader. He gets the move over flag for the lap trucks a little bit before everyone else, but Travis Quabble looking for that first win in 2003. Got a great truck going right now, but he's running out of time, guys.
Kevin Harvick hitting a little traffic, and so Travis Quabble will try to reel him in. Matt Crafton still a strong run in 3rd. Rick Crawford and Brendan Gaughan rounding out the top 5. And welcome back to the O'Reilly 200. Bristol Motor Speedway is the site, and great racing out here on the track. Brendan Gaughan and Rick Crawford currently battling for 4th position. Brendan Gaughan holding on to the 4th spot.
Just took the 4th spot from Rick. As a matter of fact, they went side by side, and Brendan looked at the top side, down side, every which side. Finally made it stick there.
Orleans Dodge. Can't wait to get there. Going out a couple days early. We're racing in Vegas.
That's going to be trouble.
The Orleans Casino and Hotel, the sponsor of the 62 Dodge. Brendan Gaughan and Rick Crawford piloting the Circle Bar Motel and RV Park, number 14 Ford.
Taking a look there, Brendan. Rick's had a good night.
Boy, I tell you what, Brendan got way up on top of the racetrack. They barely could cut the thing back down. Crawford saw that and said, okay, I'm going to get right up in here.
Brendan's a high groove guy, but yeah, don't think you want to do that here at Bristol, Dorothy, especially off the corner. Ray Dunlap, what you got, buddy?
Hey, Crawford's having a pretty good night, guys. He's driving their concrete chassis. They call it CB1. He finished 3rd at Dover and 2nd at Nashville last year with it, and this year 8th at Dover and 3rd at Nashville. So they feel like this thing's pretty much a top 5 truck every time they bring it out. But here's the problem. Crawford has not led in the last 5 races in our series this year, so that is their problem. They're not getting the bonus points that they want, and that's part of the reason why they've slipped backwards here a little bit lately, coming into this race 6th in points.
They almost got in a wreck right back there as they caught up with Matt Crafton, and all 3 of them stacked up, almost got together.
He talks about points in Rick Crawford. 2 years ago, Rick Crawford finished 3rd in the point standings. Last year, 2nd in the point standings. We just thought, hey, this is his year. He's moving up through the progression, but now he's dropped back a little bit.
When they talk about a concrete chassis, it doesn't mean it's made out of concrete. It means it's running on these concrete racetracks.
Well, it's not a cement truck either.
No, it's not a cement truck.
Clarify that. And you know what's a shame? David Starr is the fastest truck out here. He just had the flat. And Robert Presley, he's got 1,000,000 miles around this place. Laid the bumper to Musgrave a while ago and said, get out of the way so you wouldn't want to be here.
And he's the guy, he's been throwing the left side down on the asphalt, actually, in here, and not many guys are doing that.
There's more grip down there. Robert knows that. If he can drop the left sides off without it upsetting the chassis, it will actually hook it and turn, and that's why on the right side of the sway bar where it connects. Oh me!
Close here, boys.
A lot of them run a chain, so it makes the left front independent. He can go down there, and the right side, the chain goes up, and when the right front travels, immediately you have a sway bar that's effective.
Robert Presley just used that short track etiquette, if you will, and a lap truck to get that position and wrestle away. Now he's working on Matt Crafton, who Brendan Gaughan was working on before here.
We take a look at the speeds at the line as Kevin Harvick comes across the start-finish line. And the rest of the pack following behind him.
Brendan almost in trouble there.
Robert Presley knows it's time to go, boys.
Travis Kvapil, take a look here, guys. He's the fastest out there right now, and he's had some great second-place finishes this year. Let's go down to Phil Parsons.
Guys, you're not going to believe this. I just talked to Chris Showalter. They pitted on lap 48. He said, hey, we're really close on fuel. I said, wait a minute. We've got guys talking about running all 200 laps. He said, I'm telling you, we're very, very close. We're actually in a little bit of a conserving mode on fuel for the big picture. I said, wait a minute. You're running the fastest laps on the racetrack. How can you be conserving? He said, well, we're thinking about the big picture. Maybe he's running fast, but he is conserving fuel. But, guys, he is the fastest truck on the racetrack.
I don't know how you can conserve fuel and be the fastest guy out there.
Well, you know what? At Bristol, you can. If you let off early, I mean, this racetrack tempts you to drive in as hard as you can because you know you can get a turn and keep going. But if you back off early and get in the gas early and hook up the locker, which makes both rear tires grip, you can really get away from some people. Back up the racetrack. Trade the straightaway for the corner.
We've seen guys here in Winston Cup lose a spark plug wire and go faster.
There you go.
Hey, look at the bumper. Look at the bumper. There's Presley. Just gave it to Matt Crafton. Moved him up the racetrack.
That's veteran racing right there. 1,000,000 miles around here, and he knows it's time to go. Look at Brendan. He's going to try the same move here.
Yeah. Matt Crafton trying to hold on to that position. He's got fourth right now, but the veteran Robert Presley moves up. Now, guys, Travis Kvapil has been a part of some of the most exciting finishes this season. Is he going to do it again? I mean, he was about a second behind Kevin Harvick. Can he reel him in just 11 laps?
Well, you can't give Travis enough credit. But how about Dave Fuge? Dave Fuge, he's been here before. That's a championship truck. Chris Showalter, great job. Look at Harvick right here. He's still got some space, but Kvapil is on the move. He wants to win a race this year. He wants to win it. He wants to win his championship.
And right now, nobody is in between Kevin Harvick and Travis Kvapil. And there's the distance between first and second right now. And Travis Kvapil had been running faster, and now all of a sudden Travis Kvapil actually dropping back a little bit.
10 to go here, guys, and it's getting pretty bump and shove. You look right there, Brendan Gaughan just took Matt Crafton and took along with him Rick Crawford. It's not over yet.
Bristol Stone, I feel it coming. Green, white checker. I'm telling you, it's in my bones. I feel it in my bones.
Rick Crawford just getting by the slower lap traffic, the 86 of Brad Teague. And so he slows down Matt Crafton as well, who is trying to get by in the Menards 88.
Hey, throw Dennis Setzer into the fray, man. He's not done. He just got into this thing. Now it's getting down to it.
Those guys are currently 6th and 7th position. But out in front, Kevin Harvick trying to stay out in front of Travis Kvapil as we have 7 laps remaining here. And again, Kevin Harvick, not points racing. Travis Kvapil is points racing. Travis Kvapil is trying to win a championship.
Good point there. I mean, that's going to come into play. Their Victory Junction gang, they could use the money. They're going to get some money tonight if he wins. Travis, though, I mean, here, all these second places and so forth, at least this time he's competitive. At least he's knocking on the door for the win. Look right here. He's closing the ground up. He's the fastest truck. Will he run out of time with 6 laps to go?
You never know. I tell you what, Dorsey. Kevin Harvick, there's Delana right there.
And you know what? Kevin Harvick's now coming up on slower lap traffic, which Travis Kvapil doesn't have anybody in front of him than Kevin Harvick. So Kevin Harvick's going to have to slow a little bit as he goes by the slower lap traffic. And here comes Travis Kvapil.
Yeah, this is helping him tonight. So, Rusty, Jeff Gordon, all you Cup boys at home that are watching this, as hot as RCR's been lately, I think the 29 is going to be good this weekend.
Yeah, I think so.
Guys, half a second. He's narrowed the gap to half a second behind Travis.
He's coming. And they got traffic coming into play.
The traffic's going to be a big problem right here, too, because the 6's going to hit it. 16's got everything go. He's got to save his truck, though. He can't wreck. But, boy, I would like to have my first win. Doggone, I'd like to have that win.
This traffic is going to come into play right here.
And David Starr is going to be the first one that they come up to. The number 6 of Kevin Harvick going across the start-finish line. 1 mile to go. 2 laps remaining.
Remember the deal cut between the 6 and the 75. I gave you your lap back. Now you won't race me for this.
And as they work their way through 3 and 4, they come out of turn number 4 to see the white flag.
Oh,
and problems with Kevin Harvick. He's into the wall. Travis Kvapil goes by the start-finish line with the white flag out. Kevin Harvick is still on the racetrack. No caution has come out yet.
I felt it in my bones.
Travis Kvapil coming through 3 and 4. Could it be the first win of 2003? Travis Kvapil comes up to the caution flag.
Green-white checker, boys.
It's in your bones, brother. I'm telling you.
These old bones, they'll let you know.
Look at this. Yeah, they're thinking, crew guys think they won this race.
It's not quite over yet.
The checkered flag did not come out.
Wow, that was a cut tire.
He shows the caution and the checkered flag. And so the IWX Motor Freight Chevrolet gets its first win of 2003.
Wham, bam. Can you believe that? Last lap. Go. Oh, my gosh, cut a tire. This man right here, he needed a little luck. He got it. They won this race. Finally.
First time here.
Let's go down to trackside and Phil Parsons.
Well, you got your first one, Chris.
Yeah, it's been a long time coming. I mean, Memphis was 200 races for me in the Truck Series. I mean, I've made my home here in the Truck Series. I mean, I've had plenty of offers to go anywhere. And IWX, I mean, Steve Coulter, Dave Foods, have believed in me. I mean, we've come together. I mean, yeah, we won the championship with Mike Lester. Mike was a great driver. We brought in Travis, young guy, real raw. I mean, we had to tame him down, and we've been working on it. And here we are.
All right. Hey, go to victory lane. Go to victory lane.
All right. Thanks, man.
All right, back up.
Travis Kvapil, it's been 62 races since Travis Kvapil had a win. It's his second career win in 62 races. He won last in Memphis in June of '02. And Kevin Harvick out of the truck already. Very disappointed, but a guy who isn't disappointed is Travis Kvapil.
Mark Smith hates that sound. He's a motor builder.
He's loving it right now.
He's liking that motor won.
Can't give Mark Smith enough credit. Won the championship last year. Very, very seldom do they ever have any type of failure under the hood. Championship program right here.
Hey, he's not out of gas either, is he?
No, he's not.
And I don't think Steve Culver came today. He obviously thinks he jinxes the team when he comes.
Well, maybe he's at my restaurant eating again. That would be all right. Go over there, Steve.
He may have been cheering for Kevin Harvick.
You know what? This is a tribute. Think about where Alan Kulwicki lost his life, flying into this airport. And we haven't seen this in a while. He's heading to victory lane.
Let's take a look at how Travis Kvapil ends up winning this race. You're seeing the leader right there, Kevin Harvick, and problems. Boom, into the wall in turn number 4. Travis Kvapil goes by and takes the white flag, which means he's going to get the checkered next time by.
Cut her right in front. Look at this. So you'll see the sparks right away. Boom, there it went. Wow, big hit.
The last thing on his mind right there was taking the white flag, but it gave the win to Travis Kvapil.
Listen to this. Listen to this.
On board.
Oh, it sounded like my motor home.
Yeah. He knows that sound. He knew what happened. What a shame.
That's Delana Harvick, Kevin's wife, and very disappointed there.
You see Butch Hill. 1
lap to go, and Kevin Harvick gets into the wall. But the guy who gets into victory lane is Travis Kvapil. Let's go down to Phil Parsons.
Thanks, guys. Travis Kvapil, 62nd career start. Travis, get on out of that thing and celebrate this victory. So much about all your second place finishes, championship truck. You knew you wanted to win a race, and you got one tonight.
Yeah, I thought it was going to be another second place finish. Kevin just got through traffic a little bit better than me. I think our truck was actually a little bit better on the long run there, but he just got through traffic a little better than me. I'm proud of these IWX guys. We weren't very good in the beginning of the race. We were real loose. We put a spring rubber in, we took it back out, put some wedge in it, and that's what it needed. We actually planned on probably pitting another time. We had another set of tires. We thought we'd come in at the end, and with so few cars on the lead lap, we thought we'd put tires on them, drive by them. We got the green or the restart there with 80 to go or something like that. This thing took off. We had a good truck.
Now you've only led 37 laps coming into this race, and you led 1 or 2 laps tonight, but big ones.
Yeah, I guess the last 1 or 2 is the ones that matter, and stopped my heart for a little bit there. I saw the yellow, and I thought for sure we took the white and it was going to be an official race, but I seen the yellow flag waving. I didn't know what was going to happen there, but these guys pull it off. They deserve it.
Travis Quapple, victor here at Bristol.
Travis Quapple celebrating his first Bristol win and his first win of 2003. Here is how Travis Quapple claims victory number 1. Tire going down for Kevin Harvick. Quapple coming hard in second place. And there is the reason Kevin Harvick wasn't able to stay out in front. Travis Quapple, your victor here at Bristol. And the estimated 60,000 fans here at Bristol Motor Speedway saw one spectacular finish. The IWX Motor Freight Chevrolet of Travis Quapple in victory lane for the first time this year, but that was the championship truck from a year ago. We'll see if he's able to hold on and move up in the points. He's claimed the top spot in the point standings and wants to claim that for the IWX team again this year. Let's go down to trackside and Ray Dunlap.
Robert Presley sitting here on the wall. Wild night out there tonight, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's Bristol Wednesday night, so I guess that makes for a full moon somewhere. But man, I'm just proud of this Harris truck and Dodge. You know, Maurice Petty, associate engine, all the guys. We knew we had a good truck from when we unloaded up here, and just knew all we had to do was keep fenders on it and we'd be all right. And doggone, working our way up, left lugs loose on that last stop and had to go to the back. And I'll tell you what, that makes it hard when you have to pass all them trucks under green.
Now, we've already read the press releases about the fact that you're going bush racing next year, but I got to wonder, aren't you going to miss trucking a little bit?
Oh, I'm just going to miss racing. I mean, heck, who knows what we're going to do. Tad and all the guys over there at ST Motorsports, Clorox, maybe they'll let us race a few times in this truck.
We sure hope so. He had a third here in a bush race, and he comes home with a second tonight on Wednesday at Bristol.
Celebration continuing here at the world's fastest half mile, the O'Reilly 200, with a victor in Travis Quapple. We'll be back to Thunder Valley after this. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway for the O'Reilly 200, which has just concluded. Travis Quapple becoming the 9th different winner in 16 races. Tune in on September 2nd for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series mid-season review show. That'll be at 7 p.m. Eastern, where we will talk to the drivers who have made this season so exciting and look back at the first half of the season. Then we'll take a look at what they think will be the outcome for the second half of the season. Kevin Harvick's truck looked very strong throughout the race, but now has to be pushed back to the hauler because of a problem with the right front. Let's go down trackside with Ray Dunlap.
Well, action. Rick Crawford said I had to warn him when we were getting ready to go here. Hey, listen, another great run tonight. A third place, but loose off's all I heard on your radio tonight.
Yeah, when I got to pressuring somebody and really getting behind them, trying to make a move off the corner, started dipping the left side tires off in the black, and the old truck really wanted to stay on the concrete, and it buzzed the tires a couple of times and started getting loose. And I told Ray just a few minutes ago after the race was over, I said, you know, when I let it cool off a little while and let a couple of car lengths get in between us, I'll make another run on them in the Strategic Air Command, Circle Bar Motel and RV Park, Killer Bees Ford F-150 tonight. Yeah, I got to mention Killer Bees, he's really funny. And but anyway, when I could come back on him, then we could make our move. But it was probably my fault for pinching it off coming off the corner, but I was ready to make my move then and not waste any time. Can't waste any time here at Bristol. But she went on for us, and yeah, you're right, another great run for us, and good points tonight.
Well, there was a really good run for the dominant truck tonight, which was Kevin Harvick, and I believe Phil has caught up with him.
I sure have, Ray. Kevin, it looked like you had the dominant truck. You did have the dominant truck tonight. It looked like you were in sight of adding a Truck Series win to all your Busch wins, but it wasn't to be. You okay, first of all?
Yeah, I mean, truck hit the wall hard. Just want to thank all the people that supported the Victor Junction gang, and you know, our strategy played out just how we wanted it to. This is a place where if you get out front, you can set your own pace, and you know, I was just riding along there, and the Goodyear guys said it melted the beat, so we just needed a hose, and yeah, going too fast, Schrader says, but you know, I just wanted to just give myself enough distance to where I could get to the finish, and coming to the white flag, the thing blew a tire, but great night for our Chevrolet. Looking forward to taking it to Phoenix and running the rest of the weekend. And then just want to thank all the people for helping the Victor Junction gang. That's what it was all about.
Did you have any warning if the tire wasn't going to go at all?
No, I mean, it just went. They said it melted the bead. We probably just got a little bit too aggressive with no brake ducts or no hoses or anything like that, and wound up having to use a little more brake in the race than we did in practice because the truck was a little bit loose in. So just one of those deals.
Great run for you tonight, though. Kevin Harvick.
In the historic Bristol Motor Speedway, lights still on here as the crowd continuing to file out. A great night for racing, and we've kicked off the weekend for NASCAR. Coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series, O'Reilly 200 on Speed Channel, is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and the NHRA, and by Dodge. You can take life as it comes, or you can grab life by the horns. Well, be sure to tune into Speed Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern to catch Wind Tunnel with Dave Despain. As always, Dave takes your calls and emails live on virtually any racing subject. But I tell you what, tomorrow you're definitely going to want to call in because his guest is Mike Helton. And Mike is going to have quite a bit to talk about with Dave Despain. And then on Tuesday, Jeff Gordon will be the guest of Dave Despain. So tune in to Wind Tunnel again Monday through Thursday at 9 p.m. Eastern. Let's head down trackside and talk with Ray Dunlap, who's with Dennis Setzer.
Well, thank you, Rick. I may argue that this is one of the hardest fought fifth-place finishes I've seen from this team. Congratulations. Tell me about the run tonight. I mean, you guys overcame an awful lot.
Thanks, Ray. You know, it was a good deal for the Morgan Dollar Motorsports team. This is a fun place for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series to come to Bristol. Hope it comes here a lot of years. But, you know, Danny Gill and all the guys, they worked really hard during practice. We weren't never really happy with the truck like we wanted to be. And, you know, they continued working really hard and found a little something there in the race. And it really came around for us.
Did you have any idea how close you were to going a lap down to Kevin Harvick?
Well, Eddie DeHunt, my spotter, just kept saying dig, dig, you know, that he was coming hard. We run pretty good during that part of the race right there. That's one of our better parts. You know, just getting through lap traffic's tough. You know, fortunately, those lap guys want to keep the leader behind me maybe a little more than they did me. So, you know, we were able to stay ahead. About that time, we had the exhaust or a collector on the right side of the header come loose. Maybe that created our own caution right there and saved us also. So, you know, the guys done a great job. I appreciate what they've given us here.
Well, the short track ace comes home with a top 5 here tonight. And one guy who overcame an awful lot of adversity is Chad Chaffin, and he's with Phil.
He sure did, and he is, Ray. Chad Chaffin, a great 7th-place run, but about 8 or 9 hours ago, you didn't think you were going to be here, did you?
Man, we unloaded a truck called Chunky, and I went turned it around off turn 2 right off the bat and caved in the front end, so we rode out the back up, got on the Dickie's work clothes and the Craftsman tools, and, man, we went to work and qualified good. The backup truck was great right off the trailer, qualified 7th, and we ran hard all night, and to come out 7th, it's like a win from where we was this morning.
I saw you with your hands a little bit there. Now, as a former driver, I can tell when you tear something up like that, you kind of feel bad and want to help them, don't you?
Well, yeah, I did feel bad, and it was also out of necessity. I mean, there was so much to do. Anybody that knew what to do, you know, had to jump in there and help, and I put in a fireball and some stuff like that because we have a new fireball rule. That had to be in there before we could get on the track, and so I was like, guys, I've worked on these things a long time. Let me help. And I did feel a little guilty, you know, but I do want to thank Dickies and Dodge and Arrington Motors. It was a great night.
Chad Chaffin, a good, strong 7th-place run here. Let's go back upstairs.
Well, thank you, Phil. We're on board with Kevin Harvick, who led 124 laps here tonight, but he didn't lead the 2 most important ones, and those were the last 2 laps here. And the guy who did was Travis Quapple, and he has the hardware in victory lane. Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series post-race show is presented by Craftsman. Let's go down trackside and Ray Dunlap.
Well, thank you, Rick. Matt Crafton tied his career best finish of 6th tonight, but boy, I thought you were going to have a little bit better than that. Old Flash was really flying for you tonight.
Yeah, Flash was good. Yeah, that was a truck that's been sitting on the shelf for a while. We thought, oh, she's a pretty ugly truck, so we'll take her to Bristol. And so I know the Menards Enzyme Magic, the truck was actually really, really good. We came in and just got tires real early, and it helped us at the end, but it hurt us. It kind of bit us at the end. We just ran out of tires at the end. Just got roughed up a little bit with 10 to go. We were 3rd. We thought we were on top of the world, and once them guys with the fresh tires got to us, they roughed me up a little bit and sent us.
And here come Robert Presley, right?
Oh yeah, Robert. The tailgate dropped, and he knocked me. Yeah, he moved me out of the way, but hey, that's Bristol. I mean, I've seen him do a lot worse, so at least I didn't crash.
Nice confidence builder, though, for you, I'm sure.
Oh yeah. definitely good confidence builder for the last half of the season.
Okay, that's Matt Crafton, who finishes 6th tonight at Bristol.
And a great finish for a guy who had never seen the track before tonight.
It is almost like a script, guy. Travis Kvapil finally gets his win. Robert Presley, great show. The Rick Crawford's still in this. Brendan gone. I mean, it's getting tight.
Carl Edwards, who ran very strong, finishing up in 11th. And a guy who had a great truck all night long, David Starr, ending up 5 laps back. But, man, he was probably one of the fastest trucks on the track.
Best Silverado they've had all year, no doubt.
Maybe that's a boat of things to come. Chevrolet gets their win finally, and
Terry Cook having problems in that 29, and they continue for the K Automotive team. Bristol Motor Speedway, the site of another exciting short track race on Speed. Speed Channel's coverage of the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series post-race show is brought to you by Craftsman, the official tools of NASCAR and the NHRA. And that's actually a very close-up of that bug. It's not giant.
He's trying to call Dave Despain and get in on that Mike Helton thing coming out. He's dialing him up right now.
Yeah, he's dialing up wind tunnel.
Whoa, he's gone. But Terry Cook is with our own Phil Parsons.
Terry, I had my pen out, my paper, and I was trying to keep track of all your pit stops and all your problems, and I ran out of ink and paper. Tell us about your night.
Well, you know, it was just a rough night for the Power Stroke Diesel L8 Ford. You know, apparently we're going to have to start shopping at Home Depot because the Menards trucks were just getting after us tonight. You know, I'm not sure what Matt Crafton was thinking. I mean, we're 2 laps into the race, and he drives underneath me getting into turn 1 and turns us. And, I mean, that's something you do with 10 to go, you know, not 2 laps into the race runs fighting for 4th. So that got us behind, you know, and we rallied back, got back up just outside of the top 10, and we're lapping the 33 truck of Paul Menard, and he just shoved me up off turn 4 and got up in the loose stuff and kind of sucked us right in the wall. So Bristol definitely didn't go the way we had planned, but, you know, look on the bright side, and hopefully we'll have a great truck when we get to Richmond.
All right, Terry Cook, a myriad of problems tonight in a Power Stroke Ford. Let's go back upstairs.
Guy who didn't have a problem was the Chevrolet of Travis Kvapil. The Chevrolet's back in victory lane here at Bristol. And welcome back to Bristol Motor Speedway as we have concluded the O'Reilly 200, and then we have our 9th different winner of the season in just 16 races. Here are your point standings, the Ford point standings for the NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series. Travis Kvapil back up in front again, and so they swapped places. Brendan Gaughan was your leader, and now Travis Kvapil back up in front with his first victory. And guys, it was my first trip to Bristol, and let me tell you, it was everything it was built up to be. Bristol is unbelievable.
I told you, man, I said when you go to Bristol, you're going to have chill bumps from the time you get there until you leave, and what a great show. Great run for veteran Robert Presley. Great night for some, tough night for others, as we've heard from all the interviews downstairs.
Let me tell you something. You saw a clean race tonight. The truck guys were well behaved. Usually it's a lot more banging and beating, and you see that this weekend when the Craftsman or the guys leave here and the Busch comes and the Winston Cup guys up. They'll be teared up here.
Well, make sure to tune in to the mid-season review on November 2nd. And our next race, Richmond International Raceway, September 4th at 8 p.m. Eastern. The NASCAR Craftsman Truck Series continuing to have phenomenal racing. We've got 16 races into the books. Travis Kvapil back up on top of the point standings, and he claims his first victory of 2003. Kevin Harvick, the dominant truck tonight, but Travis Kvapil winning on the last 2 laps, the pass for the win.